International Women's Day in the spirit of upholding women and empowering females. So I succeeded, and it was just in time for the whole event or the celebration to acknowledge the wonderful women of the world and also fictional world. And I've recently finished reading Girls Made of Snow and Glass, and also I'm currently reading To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper. So I'm trying to be as short as possible, or trying to be concise as possible. So this book, both of those books I bought at a second-hand bookshop, and I have to say it's worth the money because this book is a quick read. It's basically a Snow White retelling, and I kind of like the approach and the relationship that they explore in this between stepmother and stepdaughter relationship, which is a very refreshing take on the whole step family dynamic. What I enjoy this story about is the setting. So there's the northern region and southern region, and I like the take that the stepmother here is actually, of course, it was as a stepmother based on the Snow White. It's also like an outsider who married the king of the particular region, and in this case they use the symbolism and the metaphor used are quite interesting because they play around, as you can tell, from snow elements or those winter weather, and also a bit of a glass element about the stereotype of the cold-hearted queen. And yeah, so we can get to explore about this. I think this is a good short read, a quick read. The English is simple, and I do enjoy the character Mina, the stepmother or the queen of the story, because bear in mind they do have, as usual, like Snow White, this one have a romance element, sapphic, and also builder boyfriend element. Yeah, I really enjoy a particular scene, well, not really a scene, like basically Mina, the queen, really just built a boyfriend out of glass. So we all want that if we could, because anyway, a quick short read, and yeah, to enjoy the time, to remind ourselves of the queens that we are. My current read is currently To Kill a Mockingbird. Now this one is obviously heavier than the previous book that I read. Look at this bookmark. I'm so slow. I'm currently at chapter 4, page 36, so nothing much is moving, but I am delighted to see how my bias has been destroyed or slightly changed. First of all, this story or this book, I've heard it quite a while, ever since I was a teenager. Of course, this writer has long, like a classic writer, Harper Lee. I've heard of the name, but I never knew what the synopsis of the story is about. I just know it's some kind of a great literature, So I've never really found the time. But then suddenly it was like $10 at the online second-hand bookstore. So I was like, why not have a go and try to read it? And I am trying, and I'm already getting the hang of the pace of the writing and the voice of the story. What I love about, and trying to tie into my International Women's Day theme, is the bias deconstructing when I'm reading it, especially the voice of this character. So it's on the first point of view from a particular, and it's from a child point of view, but not just any child. Well, let's just say when I come into this book, I was reading with a male or a boyish perspective, but it's only recently in the further chapter that I realized that biologically is not from a boy's perspective. So that was interesting. Yeah. So yeah, you can say that. Yeah, I truly enjoyed, but I don't want to tell too much for spoiler. And honestly, I can't say much as well because I'm still, slow at this. And also this bookmark is amazing. Tried by Aku Oki from Miu Rushdi. Yeah, it's a good local manga. Get it in Malaysia. Basically, I'm just gonna read a bit from the excerpt on the back. It's basically the Harper explores with exuberant humor the irrationality of adult attitudes to race and class in the deep south of the 1930s. So the story is about, will explore about the kid's father, who is a lawyer, or the local lawyer there, who is sets out to defend a black man charged with the rape of a white girl. So yeah, trigger warning here. It might get, I'm not so sure how I will go into this book, and especially if it's from the perspective of a child. But even though it's from a perspective of a child, it reads a mature voice or a third opinion narration. But because some elements because I guess it wants to set up some of the settings, so it sounds more mature. Like not most kids know about a lot of all these terminologies or the things that adult talk about, but for the most part it still stays true. I think I'm starting to pick up the pace because the children is starting school, so yeah. But the voice of the narrator got scolded because that person kind of defy the teacher some sort, and the teacher was livid, but I'm living it. So yeah, pretty much it. I think I would find something or learn more about this. This is more of a literature piece, or a social commentary, so it's kind of hard for me to point down or compare with other fantasy or young adult, because it's not, definitely not. But yeah, I'm starting to pick up the pace, and I'm still feel refreshed or surprised by my own deconstructing my own bias on that. So yeah, good one. So yeah, that's it for now. This is a short one, and yeah, happy International Women's Day, and don't just stop from there. Make sure to empower each other, men or women, girls or boys, in fighting all this weird and unjust inequalities. So happy International Women's Day. Bye. Also, may I mention that they are standalone, so yeah, less commitment, and yeah, less commitment for the win.